Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Who Wee Ood, an unofficial Doctor Who watch along podcast. Today, we are discussing the sixth Doctor episode, Attack of the Cybermen, the first serial of season 22. But before we get into the episode, my name is Ben, and I'm here with my co-host Cam. How you doing today, Cam?
I'm doing good. Not great, just good. It's getting warmer in Massachusetts.
Yeah, if it wasn't so windy where I am,
Mm.
it would have been really nice out.
But I just I hate when like this off and on period in the spring in New England where we live in an area that actually has four seasons. So it's just like
Yeah,
now we're in that transitionary stage of like some days it's gonna be nice and then some days it's going to be really cold.
it's trending towards nicer though, so that's good.
Yeah. But then when comes nicer weather comes allergies and pollen and my enemy.
Bugs are the thing I hate the most.
Mm. Like, yeah, there's gonna be part of me that's gonna miss the winter, but then also part of me that's like, ah, yes, I'm excited for the warmer weather and just more sun. That's gonna be nice, more sun,
Yes,
and not having to deal with the snow.
will be very, very nice.
But of course, today we're not talking about seasons, Ben,
No.
unless you have something to talk about.
Had the thought we could to say our marathon thoughts, but we don't
Mm,
necessarily have to.
yeah, we've been playing marathon. It's fun. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, quite fun. More fun than I thought it would be. I was
Yeah,
a little bit skeptical.
but I wasn't that skeptical because like I kind of have faith in Bungie. 'Cause Bungie, it's like that yes, like, that's the thing with game studios, it's like, a lot of the times game studios, it's like, like, the same people at Naughty Dog are not the same people that made the same people that made the first Uncharted game are not the same people that's making Intergalactic. But, like, I have faith in a studio like that, like Bungie, it's like, they
But you
have
don't
done us no
you don't play
wrong.
Destiny though.
I know, but, like, so many people love Destiny, and, like, there's been so many like, the last expansion everyone loved, or, like, 2 before that, whatever the one that everyone loved was. So, like, there's still
Final
people.
shape?
Yeah, there's still people at Bungie that knows what to do, and Marathon is case in point of a reason of they know what to do at Bungie, you know? Except for the people that didn't, and they went on to make Concord, but that's another story. But
Yeah.
mainly because I don't know if you know this, there's a spin-off team that's like Bunny no, what is it? Gummy Bears. It's like Gummy Bears is the name of the team. It's something like Gummy Bears related, and they're making like a MOBA.
Huh.
I'm very curious to see what that is gonna be. They like the project enough to spin off to be its own studio from Bungie when PlayStation bought them, so it's like, I have no idea the what that entails, Is it gonna be, another multiplayer game that's gonna come out and then a couple weeks later is gonna be no longer
There's been so many of those
care?
lately.
Well, really, it's only been 2. It's just Concord and High God, but both of those were just so much of a disaster.
Just so much who asked?
Yeah.
Who wants this?
Which I feel bad for Concord because Concord at the end of the day was just a mediocre game. Like, there were some good things about Concord as someone who played the beta.
Yeah.
I can't speak on High because I never played it, but, seemingly they were
The
trying to do
problem
something
is
new.
it was $100 million for an okay hero
Yeah,
shooter. It wasn't worth the
and
cost.
Concord was a lot more than that. Concord was like 400, $500 million if you
Yeah.
include, like, all the acquisition costs. It's like, they thought it was gonna be the next Star Wars, and it was not. I'm very much looking forward to, like, when they do the book on Concord. That's gonna be a great book because already all the detailed information we know about Concord, it's like, what a shit show.
It was in development for, like, a long ass time, right?
Yeah. Like, but, like,
Years.
that's the whole thing about it is that, like, it's you look at Concord and you're like, "Yeah, that sucks," but, like, you would have greenlight that project in 2017 right after Overwatch, and if somebody in a meeting was like, "Overwatch beats Guardians of the Galaxy," you'd be like, "Here's millions of dollars. Go make that game." But then when you cut to
Yeah,
8
they
years
started in
later, nobody cares.
2018, which what was Overwatch, 2016?
2016, and then
So
at this, like Guardians of the
2018 was
Galaxy,
like probably the height of like Overwatch. Like,
and then at the same point, that's like the height of that's right after Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So it's like that whole aesthetic is like what everyone wants to go through. And like Suicide Squad made so much money and also won an Oscar, let's not forget. So like that was just the hip thing. They wanted to join that the two bandwagons and clash them together, and they were gonna have it all be carried by this famous character called Star Child. But Star Child was not their prophet, Ben.
was it like 3 days before it was shut down or something?
It was more than that, but it was pretty soon. It was like a week or two. It was pretty much like dead on arrival. It was like I remember like people look at the Steam charts and was like, yeah, 10,000 people are playing this
I
game.
know.
Like it's
Yeah,
just
it
dead.
would. They gave it 2 weeks, and then they said we're shutting it down in a few days.
Yeah.
Hagar lasted longer.
But also different scenario because that one was free to play. Concord was $40.
Yeah.
But this is a video game podcast. This is a Doctor Who podcast. You know, my transition was gonna be before you started talking more. I was gonna say Star Child was very much like the Sixth Doctor. Do you know who Star Child is? I've been talking about them so much.
In Concord,
Yes.
is he the like the green guy?
No. That's Lennox, or I think it's Lennox.
Oh, it's the like
It's
big
started with a Len.
berserker dude.
Yeah.
Oh boy, good old Star
Uh,
Child.
let's bet 200, $300 million on Star Child. Give us the credits for Attack of the Cybermen, Ben.
It was first broadcast January 5th through January 12th, 1985 on BBC One. This was written by
Wait,
Paula.
wait, pause. I do want to mention before that the viewing figures. I think it's very interesting that one. Well, all right, there's multiple things you shouldn't have gone away because we have there's two talking points just in those two release dates. One, there's only two dates because they shipped to two-parter. It's now two 45-minute episodes, which is they did this because back last season, the revelation of the Daleks was such a success that they decided to keep with that format. Um, at the same time, there's also something to point out is that the first episode got 8.9 million viewers and the second episode got 7.2 million viewers. So there was a dramatic uh
That's almost 2 million people.
dwindle, as well as that 8.9 million is the highest of Classic Doctor Who had up until the end. So this is the high point. This is not the highest point, but this is the beginning of the end. Of they never reached that high again. This is they didn't reach this high. It was the highest viewed episode of Doctor Who since Time Flight. I don't know if that's including Five Doctors. Um, but at least if we're talking about regular episodes, it's the highest since Time Flight. Um, yeah, you kind of we'll get into our thoughts about it, but you can kind of like can't blame the audience for 2 million people to go. I don't know about this. I think I'd rather do something else with my time on a Saturday. Also, good to point out all the Fifth Doctor on a weeknight. This is them finally going back to that Saturday Doctor Who time slot.
Yes. Before we do credits, do you think having a full season of 45-minute episodes is a pro or a con? I mean, I guess we'll have to see how well that format works on a per episode basis, but in general,
Eh, I don't think it really matters that much, just because I don't think that the show changed that much.
we only get
Like
one
even
cliffhanger though.
like I was gonna say in like this episode, like you can kind of tell that like if this was a full pot episode, I don't know too much about the second pot, but at least the first pot, it's like, wow, the first pot, halfway through it, the Cybermen get revealed. So guess what? That would have been the first pot cliffhanger, would have been the reveal of the Cybermen. So it's not like it would have been like that. This story is one of those stories where this story would not be drastically changed if it was a four potter instead of a two potter.
Mhm.
Do you think that's the case, or
Uh, Probably not. I didn't feel like I kind of was keeping an eye out. There wasn't like a moment where I feel like it should have cut to credits and it didn't. It still just continued to flow. Um, 45 minutes, it did feel like a lot though. Like
Yeah,
more fatigue, especially when this is not as big of a story as Revelation,
no,
which that earns its more. I mean, I guess the runtime was the same, but it feels more movie
grander.
esque
Yeah.
with that.
Even though this there's a lot of big stuff in this story,
I
like,
can.
we'll talk about that later on when we get to this, thoughts, so let's move on to credits, Ben. So,
Yeah.
who
So
wrote this story?
this was written by Paula Moore, which, according to the TARDIS Wiki, is a pseudonym that we
Yes.
don't know who it was.
So, basically, this was one where
Concretely, we don't know.
Eric Sayward is the person that wrote majority of this story. Yeah, so Ian Levine, controversial figure, you are aware of him.
Yes, enemy
Um,
of the show.
so but at this point, he was very friendly with Eric Sayward and John Nathan Turner, and was kinda like the biggest Doctor Who fan. So he
Wasn't he
supposedly
was he employed at this point
no,
and as, like, a lore guy?
no. But I think he had, like, some credit at some point, but, anyways,
Like, every now and then,
he
I'll see in, like, the notes, like, "Oh, you know, Ian Levine was consulted," you know?
this basically he claims that this story is a very fan servicey episode for some reason. Um, he basically claims that that was all him. He was the one that was like telling Eric Sater, "Oh, you gotta go back to Telos, and we gotta see the cyber leader again, and not cyber leader, cyber controller again," and just like all this shit. And it's just I don't know why. I don't know why, Ian. And also, it's really weird for him to be like, Eric Sayward has denied his involvement, but like, it's very weird if that is the case. It's like this is the story you're gonna claim credit for, Ian Levine. Like, out of all stories.
This was directed by Matthew Robinson, who previously directed Resurrection of the Daleks, which
Yeah,
this story also has a lot of connections to that,
yeah,
outside of all the Cybermen connections.
yeah. Which kind of makes sense when you do find out that Eric Sayward's the one that wrote it.
Produced by J&T. So Cam, what did you think of Attack of the Cybermen?
We're gonna go right into it. So I watched this previously. This was when I watched as a kid. Um, I watched I remember getting this DVD from, the Faneuil Hall Newberry Comics and being so excited because, like, as a kid, right, you imagine I was must have been, like, 11 years old, right? Maybe 10 even. So as a kid, it's Attack of the Cybermen. That's a title. That's a title that's gonna grab a kid and say, "I wanna watch that story." I remember watching it and just liking the first episode, and then the second episode just losing me completely. Um, Now I didn't really watch this story, as an adult, so this is my first time rewatching it for, like, it's been over 10 years now. DVD came out in 2009, so yeah, I would have been I would have been young. There was a good shot that I could have been 10, 12, 11. Um, but anyways, I had never returned to it, so this is my first time returning to it. Um, I didn't even return to it when I got, like, the Blu-ray. Um, so this was my first time returning to it, and it's just like, yeah, I kind of have pretty much similar thoughts, even though I would say that first part isn't as good as I remembered it being. So, like, the highs of the story weren't as high, and the lows were just basically as low as I thought they were, which is that second part when we get to the what's the people of Talos? The Cryons. When we get to the Cryons, it's like the Cryons have just put me to sleep. Those are just it's an awful, awful alien. And like all the interesting things about the story just kind of dissolve, and we get just the story becomes about them and Talos. And it's like one of those times where like we talk a lot about this podcast about like some of the good episodes like Seeds of Doom, right? Where that's a story that has a really good location change and the whole story shifts, but it feels still like one story. Where this story tries to do something similar, where the second half is completely new location, but it feels like two separate stories that don't really merge into one. So then basically you kind of just lose all your interest in the second half. Did you feel similar?
Yeah, I would agree. Uh, Mostly, I think there's so many different plot threads going on. Like there's like Lytton doing the diamond heist, and then there's the Cybermen and the Sixth Doctor and Perry doing their thing, and then
Fixing the
also there's if
chameleon
we got to
circuit,
fix the chameleon
like,
circuit, and then we're also jumping back to these two seemingly random guys on another planet that
yeah,
literally don't come into play at all till like the very end of the story
yeah, yeah,
where they just die.
yeah,
Um, there's just a lot of plot threads being
yeah.
juggled, and
Like, it's
very
trying to
few of
be
them
as
are interesting to me.
it's trying to be both at the same time a sequel to Tomb of the Cybermen and Revelation of the Daleks.
Yeah, trying to divert the events of the 10th planet.
Yeah, and also somewhat is a sequel to the 10th Planet, as well as also being a reintroduction of the Sixth Doctor and Perry.
Yeah, and they go to the junkyard
Yeah.
for no reason. It's just there.
And again, like fixing the chameleon circuit, which is like one of the most iconic things about the show. It's like very much like this is a fans episode.
But as a Cybermen story, I don't really love them here.
Yeah, no, no, no. They did not create this story.
The voices are like of course, not as good as 10th Planet.
But even David Banks isn't as good as he was in Earthshock or even Five Doctors.
Is it David Banks again?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little there's like a different modulator that makes them a little bit harder to understand while still having that deep voice, which I don't really love. So it just kind of doesn't work.
As also the Cybermen aren't able to beat the Cybermen because we have so much. This story doesn't have as a story called Attack of the Cybermen. It doesn't have enough time for the Cybermen
Yes.
because we also have to throw in the cyber controller from Tomb of the Cybermen in there for some reason, and we also have to go back to Talos for some reason.
Is that supposed to be like the same
It's the same
being?
actor.
It's the same actor even?
It's the same actor, which is why he's like, we are not body shaming on this podcast. Uh, but you could easily tell that he's gained a few pounds since Tomb of the Cybermen. It's also I hate the look of it. It's so obviously like the tomb look is so iconic because it is such a different look to the other
Yeah.
Cybermen.
He's
While
got like the
this one is
big
just
brain.
this one it feels so much just like, okay, we're just gonna take a mask that we already have and cut off the handlebars and we're just gonna add this lump to it.
Yeah. It doesn't look very good.
They don't commit to the brain, they commit it's just a gray just sheet. It looks like an egg. It doesn't look like a brain.
Yeah. Also, they're not really in the story that much. The
Yeah,
cyber controller, like they talk about him, but like he probably has like 5 minutes of screen time.
no. Again, this is a sequel to that same cyber controller, so, like, you would think that it would be more
Didn't he die in Tomb?
they have a line to it of the Sixth Doctor says it, of like, "Oh, didn't, like, something happen?" It's like, "No, we repaired him." It's like, it's all good.
Okay, but yeah, such a canon based story. I think it gets bogged down a lot trying to do that because they need to reference all these things, but also they need to explain all those references because they're so crucial to the story.
Yeah.
They need to have like, okay, so there is this planet Mondas, and they have to have a whole like lore dump.
Yes, that was in 1980s. Yes, that's gonna be happening in 2 years. That still is the thing, even though they probably weren't thinking about this 20 years ago, but guess what? Now it's a thing that we have to actually address.
Hmm?
That 10th planet happened in the 80s. In the 60s, they made it, and they weren't thinking the show was gonna be I was still being made at that point that they
Oh,
have to
I didn't
really
even
actually
think
address
about
the
that.
consequences of that.
I mean, I guess they do talk about that, but I didn't realize, like, did they say 1985 in.
Well, like, they were just I think 10th planet was just the 80s, but, like, then this was the one that they really certified that, like, it's next year, so we have to address that in the continuity. Even though it's never addressed again in the continuity. It's not like people on Earth are like, "Wow, remember that thing that happened?" It's like, it's forgotten.
Does the 10th planet happen on Earth, or is it a moon base? I forget.
It's on Earth. It's in
Because
Antarctica.
they talk about, like, a moon base.
Yeah. Again, this is why sometimes Doctor Who canon, like, you just kinda have to you kinda have to not think about it because it does because the show's been going on for so long, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
They're better about it now, but back in the day, they were just like, "Oh, yeah, this happened in the '80s or in the '90s," and it's just like, "Well, the show's gonna outrun that."
That's the problem when you have to set things in the present and the near present, because the
Yeah,
near present is gonna catch up to the present.
yeah. But and then I assume you're on the same wavelength as me, so the crayons were just terrible.
I thought they were kinda visually interesting with, like, long nails and let me touch you and but I don't know. It's just another element of a story that has too many elements to it.
Yes. It's one of those things also that is not helped by the voices being so fucking annoying. Like, it's like nails on a chalkboard for me. It's just I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
It's like, just shut up, please. Let me go back to just Cybermen.
Well, I guess, to start, Sixth Doctor. This is his first story where he's not suffering from post-traumatic or post-regeneration sickness. What do you think?
He's still a little bitchy,
He's
you know?
still he's still a little bitchy.
Like, that's just the Sixth Doctor, and he's just gonna be a little bitchy. Like
Really mean to Perry for no reason.
but also Perry is so annoying when this with the Sex Doctor. She's like always like, it's just like it's it's not a good combination. The Sixth Doctor does not need somebody that's a little that's even just the remote little bitness whiny. It's just it does not work with the egotistical Sixth Doctor.
Yeah, not ideal combo. Having both of them being kind of not very likable.
It's why 2 million people, almost 2 million people, decided I'm not going to go back next week. And remember, that was the good part. That first half was the better half.
I'm not writing them off yet, but I'm I'm not enjoying them yet. I'm kind of actively not enjoying them versus just
Yeah,
like, eh. Peter Davison was a lot of eh.
yeah,
This is no.
yeah.
Mm.
But like, I like like Colin is not the reason why it's bad. It's like
Colin is
Colin's doing what
competent.
he is given,
Yeah.
but he's just not given what the Doctor is. Um,
Mischaracterization for sure.
but he is given the Sonic Lance this episode, Ben. What did you think of the Sonic Lance?
Uh, I mean, it's basically just a screwdriver that he stabs someone with once.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
and I had knew of it as like, oh, that's an advice the Sixth Doctor has. It's a more weapony thing for a more aggressive Doctor. Uh, but this is also the only story that it appears in.
Mhm.
I thought it would
This
be
is
like
this is also the last time that the Doctor even had this is, like, the last time in classic Doctor Who until the TV movie that the Doctor has any type of sonic device.
crazy. How do you have Star Wars without lightsabers? Harry Potter with no wands? You
Yeah,
gotta
but
have the Sonic.
the first Doctor and the second Doctor, for the most part, didn't have a sonic screwdriver, so it's like, you know.
I mean, for they had little gadgets. Like the first Doctor has his ring that he used for different things.
But, like, I kind of like it because, like, we're never gonna have that in the new series because the new series, it's like, we gotta merchandise that, you know?
True.
Like, Peter
Is
Capaldi
it more
tried for a bit.
pure to have a Sonicless Doctor?
Like, yeah, I think it is, but then, like, because so much, especially in the new series, there's some areas of the time where the Doctor just solves the issue just by waving the Sonic, and you're just like, "Oh, come on. Come on." The sonic screwdriver shouldn't be able to tell you like, "Oh, this is the equation to fix the saw issue," and, "Oh my god, the sonic screwdriver is gonna autopilot this microwave." I don't know why the microwave needs autopiloting, but it does for some reason. Like, it's just like the sonic screwdriver just can do anything, and Well, in this story, it does serve a purpose of being able to be used as a weapon.
Yeah, he stabs the Cybermen with it, and then it overheats to, blow up.
He also at the end is like just straight up shooting Cybermen,
Yeah.
which is like I guess the Fifth Doctor does that at some point, right at the end of their shock. I think he uses the gun. But it feels weird this time around. It feels like he's not just it's not like out of desperation, he's just like straight up just using the gun. It's also a really choreographed scene where the Cybermen just go, "Whoa!"
Yeah. I'm remembering now with you saying that. That was one thing I thought, skipping way, way ahead to the end of the story where Lytton dies. I is it maybe it's just me. I felt like the scripts got messed up where the doctor's like, "Oh, I gotta save him," and Perry's like, "No, it's too late, doctor. He's dead. Give up." Like other way around.
Yeah. But also it feels
Perry
it
should be
that
the heart if he's gonna be an asshole. But Perry's like, "Fuck him. Let's get out of here."
that whole ending feels just so rushed. This is one of those stories where it's just like, "Oh, but it's over." And it's like, "Okay, I guess."
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think of the chameleon him fixing the chameleon circuit? Because that's one of the most memorable aspects of this story. Because, like, of course, the Doctor never does that ever again.
Does it end up broken again in the end? Do they acknowledge that?
I don't remember them acknowledging it. I don't know if they do it at the beginning of Varos because I haven't watched it yet.
They don't. Oh, they like jumped and then, "Oh, it's a police box again. Guess it didn't take. Oh well. Whatever. Sure."
Yeah, I think it's somewhat fun at the beginning, but it's just like yeah, it's just weird that like that never happens again. It's same thing with the inclusion of the what's it called again the the beginning of Doctor Who, the place where is like in the
Uh,
story. I'm gonna blank.
76 Totters Lane
Yeah,
or
Tyler's
the
Lane. Just
foreman
the existence of
yard.
Tyler's Lane in this story, it just feels so out of place. Because like,
All it is
we'll
just,
get
"Oh, look, remember?" And then
yeah,
they continue on. But the
there
doctor's like, "Oh, of course it would be
yeah.
that." But it isn't really relevant to anything.
There's another story where it becomes more relevant, and there's actually a purpose for it, but this one, it feels so like,
Yeah.
here's the reference." Like, okay.
Lot
Very
of
similar to
references.
majority of those references. It's just like, it's not earned. It's just like, "Okay, there's the reference. I understand you're a fan of the show, Ian Levine."
The only reference was missing is no one threw gold at the Cybermen. That was,
Yeah.
like, the one thing.
And then, of course, the B storyline, I guess, but, like, it's kinda like the main storyline to begin with is the whole, we get, Lytton from, Resurrection on the Daleks. He's back again. He's gonna do a bank heist, which I actually think that stuff is actually pretty good at the first spot. And I think that the actor of Maurice Colburn, he does a pretty good job this whole story, as an actor. I liked him here more than I liked him in Daleks because he's given more hair than in the Daleks episode.
Yeah. I was mostly left just, like, confused with his character, though, because like, he starts off like, "Oh, yeah, he's evil. Oh, he's really evil. He's working with the Cybermen. Oh, actually, maybe he's okay because like, he's going with the doctor. Maybe he's good. But what like, he was working with the Cryons all along, actually. But are the Cryons good guys? Is
But
he a good
how did he
guy?
even get access to that? Because he's on Earth. How did that happen? Like,
I don't know. I think by the end where he dies, we're supposed to be like, "Oh, not Lytton. He was such a good guy. He didn't deserve that." But he was also that's not my emotions.
yeah. I like his little sidekick that he had for majority of the story. That's kind of like the straight man. Like he's pretty good this story.
Yeah.
Um, I've I've watched the documentary for this one on the Blu-ray slash DVD. They do mention that that was supposed to be Donald Pleasance, which I don't. Donald Pleasance is the doctor from Halloween, Ben. And him and
Yeah.
Neville would have been so good. It's a shame that we didn't get Donald Pleasance in Doctor Who. He'd be perfect.
What more is there to say? It's just
Yeah, I like Terry Malloy this episode. Of course, Terry Malloy, Davros, for the '80s era, and he's plays like he's he's on the Diamond Heist crew, and he plays like the insider cop. Um, and, he was fun. Definitely when he's with the Doctor and Perry, he's very fun in the story, and he meets a sad demise by the Cybermen. I guess we didn't talk about when we talked about Lytton. He has a pretty famous like brutality scene when his hands are getting crushed by the Cybermen,
mhm.
and the hands are just extremely bloody. Do you think that went too far, or do you think that was fine?
It's more than a kid's show. Uh,
You would be a little bit mad if you let your 8-year-old watching it and you were like, "Oh shit."
maybe? I don't know. I've seen worse on The Simpsons. Those damn itchy and scratchy.
But it's I think that it's fine, but it went too far with the blood. Like, it's very bloody,
Yeah.
and that just adds to, like, if
Even, like,
there's
when
that
he's being converted, his hands are still, like, dripping.
it's like if to imply that much blood is happening, it's like, yeah, how much pain must be in? Like, that's brutal.
Yeah. Oh, here's something. Uh, the Doctor and Perry in part 1 have a conversation like, "Oh, you're still not right. You've called me different names. You even called me Zodin."
Yeah.
Have another
Um,
Zodin reference.
Big Finish, get on it.
I thought you don't want them to get on it.
I don't want them to get on it. I don't, but, they got it's their responsibility, man. Like, yeah, and then, like but, like, the whole audition of Telos is not needed in all the Mondas stuff. It should have just been Cybermen is having this invasion of Earth in the '80s, and then maybe part 2 is we get transported to the Cybermen ship. You cut all of, like, the prisoner shit. The prisoner shit's like you said, like, at the beginning, you're like, "Why is this here?" And then at the second half of it, you're like, "Oh, that's why it's here," but it's not really, like the payoff isn't really worth it at the end of the day. I think it's somewhat interesting of, like, these half converted prisoners. The idea of it is cool, but the execution is kinda like, I don't know, how much that fits well in with the story overall."
Yeah.
But also it kinda, like it's kinda dumb when you think about the logistics of it, 'cause why don't the Cybermen just create more Cybermen if they're already partly converted? Why don't you just fully convert them?
I guess, they weren't compatible or something. This can't be the first time they're, like, actively converting people, right?
Maybe. 'Cause, it's really actually kind of rare for classic Doctor Who. There's not a lot of times where it's like, "Oh, they're partly converted." Like, Toberman does get some cybernetic upgrades, if I remember correctly, in Tomb of the Cybermen. And that's it, because there's nothing in the Evasion, there's nothing in Revenge, and there's nothing in Earthshock. Probably was always that thing of just like, it's too little bit too much for a kid show.
Is that it?
I don't know, because like, it's weird because I feel like there is more to say about the story, but at the same time, it's like, this it's there's a lot that happens, but at the same time, there's not a lot that happens. It's one of the it's a lot of just not a lot happens, it's just a lot of references
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
It's dense, but it feels very surface level.
Yeah. So, how to improve the story, like I mentioned earlier, I think you get rid of Telos and you
Yeah.
get rid of Mondas and you get rid of all that stuff. Just have it be a Cyberman invasion story and have the main guy be David Banks. Maybe the reveal at the end of part 1 is that on the ship is the cyber controller and you have that be a big reveal, but like, I don't know. It's not really that needed. Give me more David Banks.
Yeah. Agreed. So the sole cliffhanger then.
Well, I guess like the best and worst special effects. Like
Uh,
I think that special effects wise, they do a good job with the Telos stuff with like the whatever they did
yeah,
to make it look like
it feels like an
ooh, it's
alien
spooky.
planet.
Um, And also, I always love in the '80s the explosions of the Cybermen and the way that they get destroyed. There's some great explosions
Oh, yeah,
and
they squirt some green goo.
yeah, like all that stuff. It's wonderful. All of the actual practical effects work in the story is fantastic.
The Cybermen costumes, they're getting more and more over-engineered, I feel.
I don't know. I love the Earthshock attack look. That's my opinion. I love that look. And this one introduces the stealth version of it where they're all in black and the shadows. Something else I want to point out that I feel like would be a disservice in this episode. There's that moment where the doctor points a gun at a police officer. That moment's weird, right?
Yeah, it is.
Or is it? It's the doctor with the gun, or is it Perry with the gun? Perry gets the gun at some point, but the doctor does have a gun at some point as
Yeah.
well. It's
I
all.
think he
It's just
takes the
very
gun from
weird.
Perry.
It's very. It's just one of those scenes where you're like, Why?" It's very undoctory to like hold a police officer at gunpoint.
So this segment is gonna be kinda uninteresting, for this whole season because there's only one cliffhanger,
Yeah.
which is Cybermen surround Perry in the TARDIS after killing that police officer guy, and she screams, "No!"
Like, it's
And
disappointing
then
that the
she's like a
one cl
freeze frame,
yeah.
but not like a freeze frame, they're just still, and
It's
it doesn't.
disappointing that the one cliffhanger is a sucky cliffhanger. It's not even a
Yeah.
good one.
So, Cam, how would you rate Attack of the Cybermen?
It's hard. I think I'm gonna rate it a 7. It's okay. Like, it's not great, it's not bad. I would say maybe part 1 is like a 7.5, but, like, if I did that, then it's kind of unfair. I think the first half does is like a maybe even an 8, but, like, that second half for me is like a 4 or 5, so it's just at the end of the day, it's just an okay story. I could maybe even see myself rated a 6.5 or maybe even a 6, but I think 7 is what I'm gonna give it to because I know what's to come for the 6th Doctor. I know that there's gonna be even more lower points than Attack of the Cybermen.
I think it's a 6.2. That's fine. Mm, For an average rating of 6.6. And in the polls, of course, Doctor Who magazine does a poll every decade or so since the 90s. And for the Sixth Doctor, they have condensed, even though the Trial of Time Lord is for production kind of serials. They treat it as one story because it says part 1 through 14. So, with that in mind, Attack of the Cybermen is ranked sixth out of eight stories. Same in 2014 and 2009. In 1998, it was ranked fifth. It and Mark of the Rani switch places. So it right now it is above Time Lash and beneath the Mark of the Rani.
And in the 2014 poll, the last time we did a full poll, it ranked 187. So pretty much toward the lower of the list, but not toward the really bottom. In between above it is the Beast Below, and the below it is the Invasion of Time. Beast Below, Ben. That's a very underrated story. I'm very excited to see what you think of Beast Below.
I will look forward to it.
It's one of those stories that Stephen Moffat himself talks shit about it. So I think that's made Phantom talk shit about it, but I think it's still a very interesting story.
Cool.
And if you're curious about our thoughts on Invasion of Time, you can check it out. Um, I don't know if you can notate it somewhere, maybe
I can
Ben,
put it right here.
or if you don't, then just go to our YouTube channel and you can see all of the episodes that we did in the third and fourth Doctor and the fifth Doctor.
Yeah. So join us next week for probably the best Sixth Doctor story, Vengeance of
That's not
Varos.
Big Finish.
Just yeah, big finish. Best Sixth Doctor television story,
Yes.
Vengeance on Varos.
Woohoo.
Look forward to that, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Goodbye, everyone. Peace out.